was good. Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was about to embarrass myself. Look, I know Universal was working on new takes on all their classic, iconic monster characters, but I did not know that Ryan Gosling is now in talks to potentially make the Wolfman. Did you guys know he was actually going to direct it as well? All news that just came in today through Variety. Let's break this story down. I'm going to share my thoughts. But Ryan Gosling's Wolfman gears up at Universal as director decision nears. So obviously you guys know Invisible Man was a pretty big hit for them. Elizabeth Moss take, I liked it a lot. I don't know what you guys thought. If it hadn't been for the pandemic, I think that movie would have done even better. It was already getting a lot of legs, but anyway, that movie was a cool idea, and it launched a better idea than The Mummy, which Tom Cruise, no disrespect to Tom Cruise, but what a stupid idea for a franchise. Anyway, this article basically tells us that they're working on finding a director of this new movie, Corey Finley, who did Bad Education on HBO with Hugh Jackman. It's a good story about a teacher. I don't want to tell you about the plot. You just go watch it. It unfolds. It slowly becomes like, you're like, what? It's probably on HBO Max, I would assume. It's a good watch to watch. But Gosling apparently was supposed to direct, but now they're looking for directors. Corey Finley's, who Variety is saying is a current frontrunner. I'm sure we'll hear some other names soon if he doesn't get it. But this is a new take on the Wolfman and is believed to be in present times and in the vein of Jake Gyllenhaal's thriller Nightcrawler. Whoa. With an obvious supernatural spin. What does that mean? We'll talk about that in a second. So it's written by Lauren Schuker Bloom and Rebecca Angelo, who wrote for Orange is the New Black. They penned the script, but it was based on an idea by Gosling. So Gosling apparently took this to Universal and said, hey, I got an idea for Wolfman. His take fell in line with Universal's new vision for its monster movies, which was originally going to be that connected IP, but then after that misfired because it was terrible. They decided to move forward with filmmaker-driven projects based on the movie's legacies, focusing on what made the characters endure over time. Smart move. This is instead of that prescribing the mandate of sort of all the films be part of a larger universe, the dark universe. Universal loosened those restrictions and open source to filmmakers to create their own unique stories. So apparently, we already should know this. I didn't actually realize. James Wan, Paul Feig, John Krasinski have all given pitches on characters that they would love to tackle, and all of those directors have projects already in various stages of development. Many are just pitches, seeking writers, but insiders have stressed that loosening the Universal restrictions, the dark universe being, taken away, as you will, has allowed for a lot more opportunities to come in, and the hope of more movie monster magic, having similar results to Invisible Man, which cost only $7 million and then earned $122 million. So Wolfman, the timing is in question, they're saying, because he's got another project, The Martian, which is going to be Phil Lord and Chris Miller's next directorial project, but everyone seems to think this is going to be Gosling's next film. So a lot of there to talk about quickly. First of all, I'm going to say this sounds cool. I like this idea. The pitch is cool. I mean, I want to hear what the pitch is, but this idea of doing a more supernatural, psychological thriller, if you will, something dark in the vein of Nightcrawler with a Wolfman spin. Is he being a Wolfman, murdering people to benefit his daylight person? Do they know? Is there some way to sort of spin that into a cool new take? It sounds like he has one. He wrote it. He almost directed it. That means he's passionate about it. And I like Gosling. Gosling's a good actor. I loved him in Drive. It's probably my favorite part of role of his. But this is interesting. Look, it's smart because Invisible Man, when it made $7 million on $122 budget, Blumhouse did that, and they usually do that by getting the talent in for nothing. They give the talent this opportunity, and they're like, hey, you're going to get a percentage of the gross. And so Elizabeth Moss probably made a lot of money on that movie, more than expected, because it made $122 million. And so it's sort of smart because they get these actors in who will do it as sort of a seemingly small studio indie. Studio indie is what these are becoming, and then sort of reap the rewards later. So, but it's interesting because I don't see Blumhouse mention this. Jason Blum or Blumhouse aren't in there. So clearly, even though Blumhouse came in with their take on Invisible Man, which took off, it looks like Universal's now running their own course, saying we don't need Blumhouse for all of these. Perhaps Blumhouse is working on another one. We shall see. But interesting to know that there's a lot more filmmakers now obviously excited because they don't have to worry about being in a dark universe. Look, if that had been successful, if that had been a Marvel universe, of course people would have wanted to do more, people would have seen more, directors would have stepped up. But because that was such a failure, now directors are like, all right, cool, let's reevaluate your characters. Let's do the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's do the Blob, whatever they can come up with, whatever monsters are in the background, a new Frankenstein, a new Dracula. It's smart. So I'm all for this approach. This is a more interesting approach to me than the Benicio del Toro Wolfman, or even Jack Nicholson's Wolf. Do you remember that one? Jack, I was going to call him. I have not liked any Wolfman version, so this will be interesting to see if they can pull it off. And I like that they're going away from the universe because I don't think you can really bring these characters together well. Van Helsing tried. It was a bomb. Monster Squad, we actually rewatched that recently for our members-only screening, which if you're not a member, go down and click join next to subscribe. You can join here, support our channel, and also join us for these member screenings. We're going to do one this Saturday for Bloodsport, so stay tuned. Van Damme Bloodsport's on Netflix. We're going to watch it together. But when we rewatched Monster Squad, it didn't hold up. It didn't hold up. It's got a fun third act, and it's silly. There's some fun lines. Wolfman does have Nard still, but man, I just didn't remember how boring and cheesy and badly acted the film was. Sorry for those of you who still love it. Go rewatch it. We all sort of came to the determination that it's not a great film. It's a Goonies knockoff trying to put the monsters together, and there's really no reason for the monsters to be together. I mean, like, you got that approach, which is silly, or you got, like, you know, Abbott and Costello. Like, there's really no reason why the Mummy, the Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster would be there. Unless you're doing some sort of cabin in the woods approach. I don't know how you pull that off. So who knows? Maybe someone will crack it at some point. But in fact, Blumhouse was even talking about a Hollywood Horror Nights movie. That's probably how you could do it. If you do some sort of supernatural trick, like a Night at the Museum approach, maybe. There's got to be some hook that sort of cheesily it gives you the excuse for having all these famous monsters together, but then throw in Jason, like Jason versus Dracula. It's so stupid sounding, actually, that when I say it out loud. But honestly, that's how you got to do it. I don't know how you do it seriously. So this approach of taking these films and making them serious, sign me up. I'm on board. If Ryan Gosling's got a version he's passionate about, I'm on board as well. And if it's like Nightcrawler, then I really am on board. So what do you guys think? Do you like this approach that Universal's doing now? Should Blumhouse be involved in these? Do you trust them more? Do you like Ryan Gosling? What other monster do you want to see next? I want to hear all those thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Actually, before I go, there's one other Blumhouse story actually I will mention, actually, because we're still here. But have you guys watched Upgrade? I want to give Blumhouse props, because if you haven't yet watched Upgrade, you really should, because the director of Invisible Man did Upgrade, and it's a fantastic movie that I feel like not enough people have watched. And they're about to launch a new series. This was directed by Lee Winnell, and it stars Diet Tom Hardy, I like to call him. Logan, what's his name? Logan, I can never remember, but they look the same. It's like the same person. I think his name's Logan. I never ever remember who it is. Anyway, come on, what is his name? Logan Marshall Green. Sorry, Logan, but he looks just like Tom Hardy. It's crazy. Like, I don't have a picture. There's not a big picture of him here, but look up Logan Marshall Green and Tom Hardy. You'll be like, what? But anyway, he's in this fantastic movie that I highly recommend if you haven't yet seen, because they just greenlit a TV series that they're working on, which I'm very excited about, because it was a really cool premise that I think you could still continue. And this series is supposed to pick up a few years after the events of the film and broadens the universe with evolved version of STEM. If you don't know what that is, you should go watch. And imagining a world where the government repurposes STEM to help curb criminal activity. Dude, I'm on board. Apparently, they've already been breaking stories, writing scripts for the first season, and a lot of other talented people joined the team. So this could be for... oh no, they're saying that USA already was doing the Purge series. I didn't even know that happened. That's right. Which Blumhouse made. So it would make sense that they're now working on an Upgrade series, because I would have preferred a sequel, but probably smarter, especially if they can sell it to sort of streaming rights, get that second window on some of these streaming things. But guys, this one's really fun. It's a fun project. If you haven't seen Upgrade, do it. Basically, I don't want to spoil too much, you should just go watch it, but it's about a guy who gets in an accident, and he gets like a microchip in his back of his brain, and basically allows him to do things if he chooses to accept. It's just a really cool sequence where he's in a fight, and then suddenly the robot's like, would you like me to take over? And he's like, yeah, please. And suddenly he knows everything, because it's like, imagine AI. Imagine if you could activate your body to use artificial intelligence when you needed to do anything, to know a language, to start a car, to beat somebody up. Suddenly, instantly, and then meanwhile you are there, but the robot's doing it all for you. So you're like, what the hell's going on? It's sort of like Venom in a way, meets RoboCop. This is sort of the best way I can describe the movie. So check it out if you haven't watched it. It's really fun, some really great action, and so since Blumhouse is getting out of this Wolfman Ryan Gosling vehicle, you can at least go support them by checking out Upgrade tonight, or stay tuned for the series. It's coming soon to a streaming service somewhere. That's all I got for you. Be sure to subscribe over here. I think this should. I don't know if it's letting me put up new channels. If not, go down in the description. There's a secret new channel that may be launching soon. I'm giving you guys, my fans, the first heads up. So go get subscribed. More coming soon. A new video will describe more what's coming. But if you want the first insight, I hopefully it'll let me put it there. If not, go down in the description. If it's just my subscribe here, go down in the description. It'll be at the bottom to trick you to see if you actually are paying attention. That's what I got for you. Thanks so much. And don't forget, if you're not a member, join, because we're watching Bloodsport this Saturday night, 9 p.m. Join us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.